Hey everyone, my name is Kathy Robertson. I am a founder and chief analyst of Logistics Trends and Insights, a market research firm focused on supply chains. With me today is Jay Kent. Jay, welcome. How you doing?
Good, Kathy. How you been?
I can't complain. It's been super busy over the past couple of months. I know we've both been traveling. We've both been working with clients and such. But today we're here to talk about, in part, talk about FedEx's third quarter earnings call. And their third quarter ended February 28th. So it captures basically the December to February, if I'm not mistaken. So, Jay, in a nutshell, tell us a little bit about how they did.
So I would say, overall, I think everyone is looking at this from a mixed standpoint. Revenue for the quarter was up 2.3%. Operating income was also up 4%. Okay, so that's the good news. The average daily volume increased 7%. But revenue per package really went from 13.90 to 13.95. So, which really tells us that the market is still very, very competitive.
Hmm. Okay. So, how did that translate uh, for the peak season? That's what we're always interested in.
Yeah, and this was a different peak season for FedEx. They actually picked up an increase of about 70% of volume for Cyber Monday. Okay, almost 24 million packages more than planned. So from that standpoint, I would say that was very successful for them. They were able to continue the demand surcharges. And the feedback from the chief commercial officer was that there wasn't a lot of pushback on the 5.9% GRI this past year. So that's a bright spot for them. And I would say that overall, it was pretty consistent with the market. So nothing that unusual.
Okay, so how about was there any commentary about how things have been since peak season?
Yeah, again, interesting, not surprising for people who've been around the market for a long time. FedEx noted that they're going to continue to expand their Sunday residential deliveries. And so in the past, they were about two-thirds of the US population. And, quite frankly, now they're really going to continue to focus on that. And, if people remember in the past, they really had about 90% of the market on Sunday in the past. And they kind of got away from that in 2022. And there's, conversation about a refocused input and in refocused direction into that Sunday delivery.
So do you see this expansion of their Sunday delivery as a way to grab UPS parcels?
Absolutely. Okay, this is definitely a an opportunity for them. Obviously, with what happened with the USPS and UPS, has opened up a market for FedEx. And to their credit, they're looking to capitalize on that. And again, it's something that they had the network previously. They're familiar with how to do it, and I would continue to see more and more opportunities for FedEx on that Sunday delivery. And, quite frankly, they've also already received commitments of at least 500,000 packages for that Sunday deliver already. And again, I think as shippers continue to look at options and all some of the turmoil in the market, I think that's going to continue to be a good option for those shippers who think it's important for their customers to receive on Sunday.
Interesting. And from my understanding, UPS is no longer delivering on Sundays.
No, no. Again, with the change with the UPS and USPS, losing that contract, that Sunday is no longer an option for them.
Interesting. Wow. Well, did anything else catch your attention?
Yeah, there was a quote that was actually pretty interesting. It was, I'm gonna just read it. So for every dollar we bring in from a FedEx contract economy, we're getting $4 of domestic revenue. We're very pleased with that fact. This is very specific to new customers who are acquired this year, and we're really pleased with that. And then again, I think we're capturing it because of some of the changes in the market that have definitely helped. But honestly, they believe it's based on their strong market presence. So to me, that means that there's a lot of cost in the network still. I think they're still continue to. That's why they continue to raise rates, and I think we're going to see some decision points for shippers to figure out what's most important to them.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. So, UPS announced their fourth quarter earnings, I think, back in early February, late January time period. But both UPS and FedEx provided kind of muted at best outlooks for the parcel market. Can you talk a bit about that and what it means for shippers?
Yeah, again, I think it's good for shippers. I think, what UPS announced is that for full year 2025, they're expecting a decline. Okay. They have announced that they're planning a average daily volume reduction of about 8.5%. A lot of that, quite frankly, is going to be based upon the continued announcement about the reduction in volume with Amazon. Okay. But I think there's going to be pressure on the operating income and operating margin. So I would say that from a UPS standpoint, there continues to be a good opportunity, to work with a partner and try to reduce rates while you're going to either maintain or improve service.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm not going to let you go on this outlook quite yet because word came out just yesterday, on Monday, that Postmaster General Louis DeJoy was immediately stepping down, which I thought was rather interesting and curious because he had announced last month that he was going to step down but stay on until they found a new Postmaster General. In your opinion, what does this say about the post office? And should shippers be a little worried?
Again, I think there's a lot of different thoughts on what's happening behind the scenes. Obviously, none of us really know for sure. I would tell you that as a shipper, I think you have to be conscious of what is going on. How does the strategy of the United States Postal Service change? And what is the impact as well onto FedEx as well as UPS as well as the regionals? So there is definitely changes happening, and I think that there's an opportunity to really kind of relook at it, make sure you're diversified, make sure that you have some contingencies in plan. I would tell you that FedEx overall, also talked about that they are expecting softer than expected revenue. Okay, that they've continued to see pressure from a volume and a cost standpoint. So I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the reality is things continue to change. That's what makes the supply chain so interesting and challenging. I would tell those shippers out there that make sure you are working with someone, make sure that you are looking at some of the different options that are out there. There is pressure right now that people have announced, both UPS, FedEx, and obviously with USPS, DeJoy stepping down. So now is a really good time to relook at things, see what the opportunity is, reach out, let us know how we can help. Always looking forward to talking to new and existing clients, and that's really why we do this.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I think this is where the benefits of working with a consultant such as yourself, that knows this space, that has experienced this from uh, from a previous work perspective, like with Coles and so on, really helps those shippers. Uh, so, with that, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat. Uh, Tell folks, if you don't mind, Jay, how they can reach you.
Great. So a couple different ways through LinkedIn. Please reach out to me. And you should be able to instant message me, send me a note. Also, email. The best email is jkent@slbperformance.com. And again, please reach out. Let me know how we can help. Looking forward to working with everyone, and looking forward to being back with the next video in the next couple of weeks, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. And for folks that are watching this video, a big thanks to you. But also, Jay also puts out a parcel notes LinkedIn newsletter, goes out every other week. And those weeks that it doesn't go out, there's an email that goes out with additional news and insights on the parcel market. So message Jay on LinkedIn if you're interested in being added to that list, and be sure to sign up for Jay's parcel notes. With that, thank you very much for everyone attending.
Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.